Hello YouTube. So welcome back to All Things Mental Health by Ashley. I am Ashley, the owner and creator of All Things Mental Health by Ashley. So in this YouTube video, I just kind of want to talk about what I did over the weekend when it comes to my business and some interesting news that I got today.
I'll let you go, just need some time. At your own pace, you need to find your way.
So this weekend I purchased some fragrance oils, and I still haven't really gotten to the point in my business where I'm buying in bulk. Up until today, I bought my first order in bulk, but up until today, I was buying single items, and that includes fragrance oils. So I purchased lavender, which isn't really new to me, but I did purchase grapefruit, which is a new scent for me. And so I spent Sunday just making up everything in grapefruit. So that includes my bar soaps and my bath body, not my body washes, but my whipped body soap, my whipped body butters, my whipped body scrubs. I make those all in grapefruit. And this morning on Tuesday, yesterday, I made bath bombs in grapefruit. Today this morning I made my first watermelon bath bomb. So going back to today and me ordering in bulk. So I believe the company's name is Apothecary. I probably messed up that name, but it's called, I think, Apothecary Bulk or Bulk Apothecary. Either way, I ordered some fragrances from them in bulk that I would hope I can add to 2023's core line of mine. Today I ordered 2 scents that will be one for fall and one for Christmas. I don't plan on doing too many season specific scents. So I did order 2 scents. I'm not going to tell you which kind for the seasons, but I will tell you what I did order for the core line. So I ordered pink sea salt and another lavender. It's like a French lavender, so it's a lavender and vanilla type of scent. And I ordered bay rum, which I'm really excited about because I really wanted to tap into the male or masculine scent. So I did do a bay rum. So I ordered those. Hopefully those will get here by the end of this month so I could try those out. And if you see me looking over, it's because I took notes on what to talk about, so I'm not rambling and prolonging this video. So yeah, so that's all the stuff that I've been up to up until Tuesday as far as making and producing product. And throughout this video, you will see pictures and videos of me in the process of making these items. You'll see my purchase, or at least the bag from Michael's, because that's where I order my fragrances from up until this point. Today and going forward, I will be using that company with the name that I can't pronounce. I'll be using them and ordering my items in bulk. When it comes to fragrance oils. So this morning my mind is racing and I'm always thinking about my business and what's next. And I ran upon a post. So I joined all of my local markets, Facebook marketplaces. And somebody on one of my local Facebook marketplaces had posted that they were going to be at an event not too far from where I live. So I ended up doing some investigation and reaching out to some people and found that there's an event going on on Saturday night. So I thought that the last event that I went to, beginning of December, would be the last event for this year. And I wasn't wrong, because I hopped on that opportunity for this event on Saturday night and was just super excited, because usually vendor events don't go out this long, or at least like vendor events that I've seen. So I was really excited to get in one last vendor event before Christmas and before the new year, because the next vendor event for me, and this could obviously change because things change, but I don't foresee another vendor event or market until April. So I was really excited to jump on this opportunity and do this vendor event. This is my first vendor event at night. I've heard positive things from other vendors, excuse me, from other vendors when it comes to night events. So I'm really excited to see how my night event goes. And I will be taking y'all along with me. I'll be doing some lives. I'll be taking some photos and some snippets to put in a video, and of how the event went and my setup and everything that has to do with this event. Thinking about this event had me thinking about doing in the future some YouTube videos on the do's and don'ts for vendors when attending vendor events. What, as far as what I've learned so far, and as well as sometimes the I don't know how to say this, but obstacles that I've ran into with coordinators of vendor events that I was not expecting, and things to kind of be aware of that can happen. Nothing that you did, but on the coordination side of these vendor events, obstacles that I've run into. So those will be different videos that I'll be doing. But I'm really excited to take y'all along with me on this vendor event in December, on a weekend, a night event, and show you my setup and all of that stuff. So stay tuned for that. And I think that's all that I have for y'all. So I'm excited for y'all to see the grapefruit and me making it. And I think the video that I took is of me whipping it up in the bowl, and that beautiful peachy color and all that wonderful stuff. So stay tuned for the next video, which will have everything to do with my vendor event on this Saturday night, and how it went, the good and the bad and all that stuff. I did want to take the last few minutes to kind of talk about things that I'm doing to prepare for that event. So what I'm currently doing is taking inventory of all of my products. So I just did that, if you can kind of see. And then of course I will input all of this stuff into my Shopify website so that that's up to date and accurate. But that's just kind of what I do, is take a little bit of inventory before events and kind of see what I have. I do this for multiple reasons, but one of the main reasons that I do it is because it helps me know what I have. At vendor events, I have found that sometimes people want to know how much of something I have. And if I've left all of the items at home, or if I have some items at home, or whatever the case may be, it may be difficult for me to, on top of my head, figure out how much I have of that particular product and that particular scent. So if I input this into my Shopify information, I can easily just grab my phone and see how much quantity I have of that particular item and that particular scent. So that's what I'll be doing, or that is what I did, and the reasons why I did it. Another thing that I'm doing to prepare is making product. Even though I was not expecting this vendor event, I had still been making product up until this point, just because I was trying to get ahead for next year. And I'm glad that I did do that, because a vendor event popped up, and I'm ready for it as far as supplies and products. So I'll be bringing all of my products that I have with me to the vendor event. That includes the lip balm. So on Friday, I'll be getting the capsules and the molds for the lip balms, and I'll be making those Friday night, potentially Saturday morning, and making those for Saturday night. And that is the last, or one of the last things that I'll be doing. I'll also be getting 3-ounce containers on Friday in that same shipment. So then I'll be going through and trying to figure out what products do I want to put in the 3-ounce containers. I obviously won't be able to put everything that I have in there, because I think I have 24 containers coming. So I'll figure it out then on what particular stuff I want to put, what particular scents I want to put in there. So I'm excited about that, and being able to offer 2 different sizes, because I think that that's important when you're a small business owner and people don't really know your product yet, and they're still trying to figure it out, and if they like it and all this other stuff, they can buy a cheaper version, smaller version of it, and test it out before they buy the larger version. Then of course I've had people do the opposite. I've had people want to purchase the larger option and not wait for the smaller version, which is perfectly fine with me too, but I like to give that option for people. So that's what I'll be doing, as well as preparation for this event. I'll also be making sure that I have everything packed. I have my wagon ready, because that is super helpful. I've had a wagon ever since this summer, but never used it for the first few events. It wasn't until this last event that I did where I finally used the wagon, and it came in so much handy. Me not having to make so many trips back and forth to the vehicle to set up. Also in preparation, I plan on making sure I pack my snacks and possibly my laptop. I've not brought my laptop to events before, but I think it'd be a good idea for me to bring it and just have my website up on it, so people can visually see my website, and maybe see some products on there, photos and things like that. Also, if they want to go ahead and I may also swap out throughout the event. My Facebook page may be posted on there as the main screen, so people have the option to see that and be like, hey, you know, she has a Facebook page, let me go ahead and add her, or let me go ahead and follow her, or like her, or whatever. So I'll be doing that. I'll be making sure I have my bags. I can make sure I had different sizes, so I have small, medium, and large bags. So I have that ready. I have my little caddy here. I'll show you my little caddy that has all the essentials in it. Mind you, these were not things that I thought of on my first event. It took about 6 events now, if not more, for me to figure out all of this stuff and put this stuff into practice. So I have like a little caddy here that just basically has my business card, tape, which is super important, dry erase markers, which are super important, because I have now a board that has on one side chalk and one side dry erase, so I can put different stuff. I put my prices and any type of sales that I have. I put my website information and my Facebook information for people, so that they can see from afar what I have before they even get to the table. They can also see my prices without having to ask, and that's isn't necessarily for me, it's for them, because I know, I don't mind people asking me all event my prices, but I know some people do not want to ask. That may be a hesitation for them or whatever. So for their comfort, instead of them having to ask, they have it right there on the board. I also purchased recently, this will be my first event doing it, but I have a sales book for people who actually want a receipt. I have not had that happen yet, but just to be prepared. I have a dry erase scrub thing. I have my business cards. And that's what I have. I do have prayer cards. I like to put prayer cards in my bags for people. And I have my money bag. So that's what comes in my little caddy. I'll make sure I have that ready. All of my products will be labeled. And yeah, so like that's pretty much, and I'm sure I'll be doing more and more stuff than that, but that's pretty much the gist of what I'll be doing as I prepare for this vendor event. I'll be packing up all the products the night or the morning before, making sure I have everything. Something people ask or questions people have, or how do you know how much product to bring? I'll tell you this. Before my shift in my product, so when I was doing the kits and all of that, I found that if I did not bring almost everything that I had, that whatever I did not bring would be the one item a customer asked me about. And then I end up missing out on that sale, because even though I may give them my business card and Facebook information and tell them to reach out, there's no guarantee that they'll do that. So I potentially lost out on a sale. So I've learned that it's better to bring too much than too little. So I'll be bringing all the products that I have in stock right now. I'll be bringing everything so that there is nothing that I will miss out on. Every scent or fragrance that I promote, I have at that event. Even down to the lip balms, the 5 scents that I put on my website that I offer, I have all 5 of them there. Of course, there's a possibility that I may run out of some of those items. I will also have a piece of paper that will have my sales, my sales logs. I'll be keeping track of what I sell. I will also have another piece of paper that will have orders on there. So in case I run out of anything, I can keep track and have people write down their email address, phone number, and their name so I can reach out to them once I get it back in stock. I will also have an email list so I can keep up with people's emails and add them to the subscription or email list that I have of updates, because there will be plenty of updates in 2023. So those are other things that I'll be doing. My table, my cloth, my tablecloth, my signs, all of that stuff. I'll be bringing back out my Christmas decor that just kind of lines the table, and some Christmas trees and different stuff like that to put on my table. I'll also bring out my Christmas Debbie cakes. I'll have that for people to just come by and grab to snack on while they shop. I'll be putting all of these like little tricks and tips that I've learned from watching different vendor events, YouTubers talk about, and also my experience in doing vendor events, looking at other vendors and stuff that they kind of do, and just trying to make my table and booth area look like a shop, kind of a place where people can come in, they feel welcome, they're ready to shop, they can look around, the table's well set up. I may also switch it up this time. I may, instead of doing a T-shaped, which is just the way the table is, I may do more of a V shape so people could come in and feel welcome, things like that. If you have 3 tables, which I actually do have 3 tables, but I'm not sure if I'll be using all 3, but you could do like a U shape or a C shape or whatever shape you want to do. It also depends on the size of your area that you have. But you know, trying out different things. Also will be throughout the event, switching out the products. So switching it around. Whatever product is selling the most, I may put that at the forefront and put the less seller items at the back. I'll be putting the bath bombs and the lip balms at the front of the table, because those are quick grabs and they're also the cheaper option for people. So I'll be having those a little bit lower and have my my whipped body butters and my soaps a little bit higher up in the back. Different stuff like that to kind of draw in attention and things like that. So that's what I plan on doing as I prepare for this event with a short amount of time, but I always like to be prepared, because I would hate to turn down an opportunity for a vendor event at this point, because like I said I might have said in the first YouTube video, that there are vendor events that I've gone to this year that I probably won't do next year, just because of organizational issues or different things, obstacles that I have found with that event, as well as the sales were not the best. I may not be doing those events next year, but for majority of the events that I did this year, I will definitely be doing next year. And I think starting out as a new business owner, it's important to get your feet out there and just try out different vendor events, because you never know which ones may be great ones for your business. Some of the ones that I thought I would make the most money at, I made the most money at. And it's just the way it works. You just never know. And yes, each vendor event is different. So even the vendor event that I went to this year may be completely different than next year. But you have to have some basis to go off of. And this is what I kind of use. I use these last few months of my business, of me being in business and doing vendor events, as a guide on how to do, or what vendor events to do next year, what towns to do next year, what towns not to do next year, what vendor events to do, what vendor events not to do. It's all a learning lesson, and in order to learn, you have to try it out. And so I am over the moon excited to try out this new event with a new coordinator. I've never worked with this vendor coordinator before. I've never been in this location before. I've been in this town before, but never this location. And I've never done a night event, which I've heard absolute amazing things about night events. I've heard that you make more money at night events, and it's also a short amount of time. So versus doing an 8-hour day event, you may make more in a 4-hour night event. So I'm really interested in seeing if that's true for my small town and my small town business. Because I've definitely heard that from other YouTubers that do vendor events. So I'm excited. Also today I was talking to some coworkers and just kind of telling them about my business, because up until this point, my coworkers did not know that I had a business. Some of them did not know, and they did not know that I did vendor events. And so I used some downtime to kind of talk to some of my coworkers and ask them, hey, does this particular town have a festival? Because I've never heard about this particular town having a festival. And some of you may think, like, most towns do. But I live in a small town surrounded by other small towns that eventually will get to a big town. But the surrounding town, my town, surrounding towns around those towns are all small towns. So it's very possible to have a town that's super, super small that does no festivals. And so to my surprising, she said, yes, this town does do a festival. You know, it's not as big as this other small town, but it does have a festival, one per year. And so that just added to a potential vendor event for next year. But yeah, so I'm excited about this new vendor event coming up, and to tell y'all all about how it went and kind of the pros and cons, what I learned from this particular vendor event, and then future videos where I kind of talk about what vendors should be aware of if you become a vendor, and things be aware of from vendor coordinators and the obstacles that could come up. In talking to my coworker about my business and what I do and potential vendor events, she talked to me about an experience that she had going to a local vendor event. Actually, it was a local market, and she told me she was very turned off by that event. And I asked why, because as a vendor, I want to know, like, was it the market that kind of turned you off? Because this is a market that I will be participating in next year. I've never done before, but I will be participating in it next year. And I kind of wanted to feel her out on what was wrong with that. And she says it was nothing wrong with the market itself. It was, the issue was that it's a 9-to-1 event market every single Saturday. You don't have to go every Saturday, but it's offered every Saturday. And she went there, and she is on the weekends, a wake up at noon or 11 o'clock type of person. So even though the vendor event starts at 9, she may not get there till noon, maybe even 12:30. So she's still energetic, ready to shop. And she gets there and everybody's packed up. All the vendors are packed up. Even though they're still there mingling amongst each other, the vendors packed up their booth to go around and mingle, talk to other vendors. So she's going there and everybody's packed up. Now some of you may say, well, it's 12:30, you know, what's the big deal? However, in watching YouTubers talk about this topic and my own experience with this topic, there's numerous things that can be an issue for this. And I'll talk about that in the video that I do about vendors and things that they should be aware of. But for her, that was a turnoff because she didn't feel welcome. She didn't feel like, hey, like I'm here to shop. She didn't feel like, hey, come over and shop, look at what I have. It was more like she felt very standoffish and pushed away because everybody had packed up, even though they still had another 30 more minutes. And that was definitely something good to hear from her because it helps me as a vendor kind of know things that I already knew or things that I already learned, but it just confirmed it because that is something, and I'll talk more about this in the next video, but that's something that starting out, I did not know. I didn't think it was a big deal packing up an hour early or, whatever, especially if the sales were not there. However, I learned differently, and I'll talk to you about that in the next video. But definitely be on the lookout for the next video for things that vendors need to be aware of when doing vendor events, as well as obstacles that they need to be aware of when working with different vendor coordinators. Stay tuned to that. Thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting. I'll have my website, Facebook page, Pinterest, all that information in the description. Please go to my Facebook page and subscribe and like. Please subscribe or like this video if you feel like it's useful for you. Share this video. Let people know about this video because I feel like it has been very eye-opening and amazing for me to be able to learn so much in 3 months from watching other vendors that have YouTube channels talk about their experiences and talk about their experiences having a successful small business. Of course, now they may be 3 years, 5 years into their business. It's still useful. And I think it will also be useful for you to tune into my channel because I'm just starting out. So you're actually able to see the downfalls and the rise ups and the valleys and everything that goes along with my business from the beginning. And things that I've learned and changed and modified and the process of all of this as I go along. So you're able to tune in and kind of see, if you're running a business in a small town and you are a small business, what that looks like, because it looks completely different in other towns, other states. It looks completely different. And so I'm happy to be able to give you a sneak peek into the life of a small town, small business owner, and the products and me making the products and that whole process, because that's a whole process within itself on the struggles of making some of these products and being okay with not doing well with making them on the first batch, but coming back and continuing and being motivated and having a great second batch. So stay tuned. Thank you for watching my video and supporting me, and yeah, see you at the next video.